Question ko lang, napansin ko kanina sa broadcast na si Coach Bren yung what do you call this, yung nagda-draft kasi usually kayong dalawa yung tandem eh. Like in the previous days, I usually see si Coach Ducky yung nasa draft alongside Coach Bren. Pero ngayon parang si Coach Bren na talaga. So what was the decision behind that?
Meron lang akong ginagawa actually. Kausap ko yung management. So, yeah. Follow ata ako sa port. No. Yeah.
Okay, sige. Coach Bren, would you like to add?
Wala naman. Usually kami talaga dalawa. So kanina talaga busy talaga si Daki. Kaya sabi niya, Bren, ikaw na muna, bahala. Kaya ganun naman kami, nagsasaluhan naman kami lagi.
And speaking about that, how does it feel na parang Coach Ducky has like full trust in you? Like it's been like that ever since you came to AP Bread.
Yeah, tama ka. It's been like that naman since bago pa niya ako kunin. Nung kinausap niya ako na ibibigay niya yung buong tiwala niya sa akin technically sa mga bata. Kaya yun, nagpapasalamat talaga ako sa kanya kasi siya lang yung natatanging nagtiwala sa akin. Sa lahat ng mga org na napuntahan ko.
Okay, so to translate what they said, okay, wait, my international media ba? Okay. Okay, translate what they
You
said.
have to translate.
So Coach Ducky said he was busy with doing something. He might get reprimanded by the management. So yeah. Just kidding. Okay. Anyway, and then for Coach Bren, he's very grateful to have the full trust and the full faith of Coach Ducky, to lead AP Bren, in this campaign. So there. Okay.
Hello, both coaches. Congrats on the win. My question is, what impressed you the most with Lilgun's performance, and what do you think they need to improve upon moving forward?
For me, doon sa nakita ko kanina in the entire, group stage matches nila, I think they have to widen their hero pool. Kasi medyo paulit-ulit yung draft nila eh. There's like no room for like surprises at least. But I bet the boys of Lil Gun is pretty creative. It's just that it's probably hindered by the fact that you're going to play with the best of the best in the world. So I think they went a little bit stiff in terms of like creating their own identity in this particular tournament.
How about you, Coach Bren?
Yun lang po. Ano lang nila siguro, lawakan lang nila yung tiwala nila sa coach nila siguro. Kasi first time lang nila magkaroon ng coach actually. Sila lang nung IESF. So siguro learning experience sa kanila to. Working together with the coach. Kaya sila na bahala dun kung ano yung next plan nila sa susunod na tournament nila.
Tsaka shoutouts pala kay Coach Mitch. Siya yung bagong Mr. Worldwide. Wala si Zico eh. Hoy Zico, buti naman nag-retire ka na.
That's
Yeah.
Isa ko susunod tanong. So, what they said earlier was they're suggesting for Lilgun to expand their hero pools because they've been using the same heroes all over again and to trust their coach. Since this is their first time that they had a coach. So anyway, my question now is, yun nga, let's go to that game two tactic that you did for Marco. During the first two Lord fights, hinahayaan niyo yung ibang players na lumaban sa Lilgun for the Lord. Pero si Marco, ang pinapa-counter push niyo was that a plan all along from the start or parang nung biglang ito na lang gawin natin ngayon ba bigla na lang yun?
I think it's pretty straightforward actually. We're playing a losing game. So, we are in a gold deficit. So, kailangan namin medyo mag-farm yung gold laner namin, which is almost always the fallback kapag ganyan yung situation, the gold lane. So I think I'm most impressed by the fact that, the entire team is actually in one single wavelength. Na naintindihan nila na, okay, ganito yung kailangan natin. We need to hit that power spike level so that we can fight. Unfortunately, hindi yun napigilan ng Lilgun eh. Kasi free farm pa rin si Marco, free farm pa rin si Few. Until to the point na hindi na nila kayang indahin yung pokes nung Novaria namin and the Claude. And then, from that point onwards, it went downhill for them kasi hindi na nila kayang i-sustain everything.
So speaking of that, parang nagulat ba kayo na hindi kinontra ng Lilgan yung pag-sneak in ni Marco?
There was no way for them to counter it kasi wala silang hero that, naturally split pushes or counter a split push. Doon sila nalito.
So what they said was they were ayun, parang now I'm lost. Ayun, so what they said was it was really their plan all along that because they are now in a losing game, so they have to strengthen up their gold lane here, and so it was eventually effect because Lil Jon eventually was not able to counter Marco's attacks in the end.
Hi, coach. So, congrats on making it out of the groups. Perfect games all around. Like, I think at this point it's only AP Bren and Onic who have gone undefeated in their groups, right? So, yeah, at this point everybody is looking at both of you, Onic and AP Bren, to be the ones to fight at grand finals. Is does this expectation like put any pressure on you guys?
Actually, wala naman pong pressure kasi kami yung team na for the past year, this year, sobrang dami na namin na nilarong tournament. Sobrang halos lahat kami yung tournament favorites. So, I think the pressure is on Onyx because they've only played like 2 major tournaments so far, excluding yung MPL region nila. So, I think nasa kanila yung pressure, wala sa amin.
So to translate a bit, yeah, AP Bren don't feel any pressure because they've gotten used to it from all their international tournaments this year, and they think that it's Onic who probably has pressure on them because they've really only played in 2 major tournaments, international tournaments. On that note, on the team's performance, was it like are you guys like surprised at all at how well you're doing, or is this all just as planned? Because again, you guys are the tournament favorites, but the level of play has been really exceptional for the team so far. Are you guys surprised or with the performance of the team so far?
With the exception of my team, definitely I'm surprised with, the level of competition that we're seeing in M5. We're looking forward to like play at the topmost level when the knockout stages comes in about a few days. So I know everyone or every other team in there has like something in their pockets. We'll dig deep on ours. Scrape the barrel from whatever that's left out of our creativity, and bring out our A game.
Yeah. So thank you, coach, and good luck for the next stage.
Thank you, Carlos.
Coach, you were at M2, and compared to M2, comparing M2 and M5, there's been a lot of close games in M5. Even at the group stage, there's a lot of teams who could actually proceed to the next round, like a lot of ties, a lot of tiebreakers. Do you think that the gap between developed regions and developing regions is slowly closing?
Oh yes, definitely. We can see from the likes of Triple Esports from the MENA region. Oh yeah, from the MENA region. They've improved so much. What else? We got Mongolia, Lilgun. I'm really impressed with how they're easily closing that gap in just a span of like 2 years. So that's quite impressive. So I think there would be a lot of more competition in for 2024. Like the level of mechanics would be up there. Everyone's gonna hit the ceiling, and it's just gonna boil down who wants to win more.
So seeing the performances of different teams, like the dark horse teams, the underdog teams in M5, who do you think is the team who could make it or take it all the way next year? Like the team with the biggest potential to be a champion.
For next year.
Yeah, for next year. If they develop properly for
Oh,
next year.
I don't know, man. I really like Lilton. They're really chill. I like their personality. I think they can step up. But I'm also looking at China. We everyone knows that whatever game the Chinese put their hands on, they do really well. So I'm expecting that they'll come out blasting next year.
Uh, to Coach Ducky, can you talk about the maturity of Super Marco? Because the past few games, some of the games are very close and went all the way to the game 3 and even to the late game. So can you talk about how he is stepping up for the team right now?
Um, it's kind of hard to like paint a picture if you're only focused on one player because it's a collective effort actually. So if we lose or if we are actually playing a losing game, it's everyone's effort to like do this, do that, so that Marco can farm. But if we're going to talk like Super Marcus, maturity alone, I think we're at the point that we're seeing uh like prodigy level, play from a specific player. And it's really fun to see that you're seeing this unfold, right in front of your eyes every day. So it's kind of fun.
How about the close games? How are these type of games preparing you for the playoffs?
I'm sorry, what?
How was the close games during the group stage prepare you for the playoffs?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm thankful that there are games like that, that we had to play like our brains out because that way we get to see, those small mistakes that we need to patch up, put a band-aid on and fix for whatever show that we're going to perform upstage in the knockout stages. So I'm thankful that that is happening so that we can prevent that from happening in our later matches or the more important matches.
Thank you.
Anyway, so Coach, hi again. So just to follow up from John Ed's question earlier,
Yeah.
you mentioned earlier about the improvements of the other regions. So I would just want to know your thoughts. Like, uh, does the exportation of Filipino talents like contribute to the improvement of the other regions?
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, everyone is looking after Filipino players or getting their hands on a Filipino player, in the hopes that that they can actually, how do you put it? The one that I'm thinking is not really that good, but they're hoping to like put their hands on a really good Filipino player and or a coach in that case, in the hopes that they can have that mentality of a Filipino player or a coach, and have that culture in that specific team. So I think it's very important to note that these players and coaches are actually sacrificing a great deal of time away from their families. So that has to be put out there. But in terms of like emphasis or importance of having these people around all over the world is very much important, and I want to just give props to them for, like, living out there, out in the sea. See what I mean? Southeast Asia. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. That's it. I naubusan now English.
Okay. Okay, follow-up question ko lang. Coach, what do you see in a Filipino coach or a Filipino player? What makes him stand out?
I imagine his face. That's it. Yeah. So if you tell me, think of a Filipino coach. Yeah, there you go. It fades in, then fades out. His face. Yeah.
Okay, sige. Thank you so much.
Last question, Coach, from Upstation, Indonesia-based publication. Ayun. Any team in M5 that has surprised you so far, or any team that you consider as the dark horse of this tournament?
Surprised us? No one actually. No team that I can think of. The dark horse. DS Volt for sure.
Thank you so much.